Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to our Thursday night scoop. And we've got a fabulous presentation for you tonight. As you all know, we've got Poole-McCullough, who is here to join us. And William is really passionate about tonight's topic. It is something that has been kind of spoken about on numerous occasions with myself, with Rochelle, with the team. And it is something that is really significant to all of us. It makes us look at ourselves and the way we manage people, and also how we manage our teams and support our teams and grow our teams. And we're very lucky to have William's knowledge on this, because it really is significant and can make such a difference. So Poole-McCullough, Emerald Director, the floor is yours.
I'm on mute. All right, so everybody can hear me okay? Yeah. Okay, excellent. So today's topic is quite a powerful topic, right? It's called tribal leadership. So what does that mean? Well, we are tribal, we're human beings, right? We're all here together, but as we go through life, we also have a lot of, how to put it, as we grow in different levels of consciousness. So this is actually a consciousness conversation. It's like evolving your consciousness from level 1 up to level 5. And I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey, which it can be very thought-provoking. So what we'll do is I'll share the screen, and then we'll start unpacking this, right? So there's some... I want you to look at your life and reflect. So it's a very reflective inside as well as outside in the community and family and things like that. So let me share my screen. Right, so obviously I was introduced, like, so my name's Poole-McCullough. I can tell I've got a bit of a funny accent, all the way from sunny Scotland. So I'm really privileged to be part of USANA and the difference that we're making in the world, and how USANA's totally transformed my life. And one of the biggest things is actually learning about tribal leadership. It's really made such a difference to my leadership with my family, with my wife, my daughter, my team, and just in general, being a great human being and making a difference. And when I was younger, I wasn't quite like that. I had to go through a lot of ego and drama. And I know everybody here can relate to that, because that's part of being human. So what we're going to do now is unpack this, and how do we get away from the drama and actually become highly, highly effective? All right, so tribal leadership, right? And there's five stages, right? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the thing with this is looking at this from an evolution point of view. So you're going to look closely to what level you think you're on, because you can jump between the levels. You could be a level, some people can be 1, no many people are 1s, but 2s, 3s, 4s, we kind of float around there. And what you want to look at it from yourself is, when we go through this, we're going to unpack this, just see where you feel you might be at, and you can fluctuate, because self-awareness is the key to massive power, right? So here's a question for you, right? So how would you like to take your life to a whole new level in all areas that you care about, right? So for instance, right, relationships at home, like marriage, children, right? These are so important, but sometimes there could be conflict there. Sometimes they could be getting resentful. They could be feel taken advantage of. There's all sorts of different things that can happen at home, right? We all are human beings. We all go through these feelings and judgments and stuff. So I'm going to show you how that happens and how we can take that to a whole different level. So you can virtually transform any area that you care about, right? So you've got relationships at home, relationships at work, your teammates, the people that you work with, your colleagues, right? Business, so you're growing USANA, you're growing businesses, and see, all this is all back to relationships, right? So the next thing also is confidence. Like, what can dent confidence, what can create confidence. So we're going to look at, when you learn this, it really gives you a lot more confidence to deal with what you want to achieve. Now, the other thing also is like career. Like, if you learn this tribal leadership, your career will speed up and go to a whole new level as well. All right. Also, finances. Now, if you're great at building tribes, and you're great at being in the world of other people as well as you at the same time, that makes you highly effective. So then that's also going to create harmony, happiness, togetherness, finances. Everything comes from communications with people, right? And then one of the biggest things is we've all been here for a certain amount of time on this planet, right? And are you really clear on your purpose? When I learned this, my purpose became solid. And before, I was like, I don't really know what my purpose. Obviously, I want to help people. I want to build business. I want to make a difference. This has really helped me get clear on what are we here for? Are we here for a big game in life and have a purpose and make a big difference? Or are we here just to get what we want? And how can I get what I want? So I'm going to now start unpacking it. So I want you to look at it from these different areas, and you might be other areas that I've missed, right? So let's see how we can unpack this conversation. All right, so let's have a look at this chart now. So there's 5 levels of, right? We're going to actually unpack this. So if you look at level 1, so this is people, sometimes gang members, right? So look at the theme: life sucks, right? Resign, cynical, who cares, right? That, as you can see, look at the picture, they're alienated, they're separate from society, very aggressive, kind of aggressive ego, very hostile. And a lot of people like gang members, drug dealers, things like that, right? And then, so most people obviously here, what we're known at that level. I get brought up in Scotland, and it's quite like that. It's very aggressive culture, even though it's very friendly, but it can be very intense and hostile. So there is a little bit of a flavour of that in Scotland. The next level is my life sucks, right? So this is people who are a little bit, feel disconnected, separate, get a little bit of a victim, blaming other people, don't be responsible, right? Apathetic, what's the point? And that's kind of gossip, drama, right? It's a kind of low energy vibration. So, and then what happens on next level is level 3. This is where people become really good at something. So they might go from level 2 to level 3, where they really sucked at something, and then they get really good, and then they get a little bit of a swagger. I'm great, you're not. It could be high achiever, it could be doctor, lawyer, accountant. People who are very accomplished. So this is a level of standards where your standards are increasing, where you become really, really good at something, but other people might not. So then we don't realize, but we can, it's like a false ceiling, where 3 is like, well, I'm great, little bit of snobbery, but you're not, like, because I'm good at this and you're not. There's a comparison thing in there. And it is a false ceiling. Now, in USANA as a company, as in like leaders who are building the business, sometimes we can get stuck here, where we're lone warriors. Well, I can do it great, but you can't. This is actually a false ceiling. And we want to show you that when you break past this false ceiling, everything becomes absolutely amazing, right? So we're now getting into the level 4. We're great, but they're not. Now, that's still a little bit separate, but the ego identity starts to diminish. And then what we're doing is we're starting to grow into this more of a collective tribal pride, like interdependent, like partnership, right? So we're starting to collaborate better together. We're working better together. Now, this is in a marriage. This is in a workplace. This is in USANA, building teams of people, just as a human being in general, right? And then we get to level 5, which is absolutely, life is amazing, right? There is no separation. Every single human being you meet is your brother and sister. Now, if you're in the level of 2 and 3, and you might go, nah, that's kind of, nah, me first. But when we take you through this journey, you just, some of you are going to go get a really big epiphany. And some of you might already have this epiphany, right? But it's really, really amazing how your life can transform. Now, the key is to get to level 4 and 5. If you're no there, you need to work here, because this is where the gold is, right? This is where fast results in your life are going to come from. Right? So let's look at, let's now unpack it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Vanessa is going to narrate this and unpack this a little bit with us, right? So please welcome Vanessa. So she's going to read this to you guys.
Stage 1, life sucks. Person is alienated with an aggressive ego, despairingly hostile. People believe life is bad. They feel disconnected from others and resent the unjust world. They might resort to violence, damage, or theft, and form groups like gangs. They speak as if life has been unkind, so they do whatever's necessary to get by. They often use phrases like unfair, messed up, or doing what I have to for survival.
So as you can see, right, life sucks, alienated, quite aggressive, hostile, right? So let's go to the level 2.
Stage 2, my life sucks. Person is separate with a victim ego, an apathetic victim. People feel that life is challenging and unfulfilling, both in their family relationships and work environment. They don't fit in or belong. They see others have power, influence, and good things that they lack, and feel silent resentment and frustration. The apathetic victim is passively antagonistic, resigned, and judgmental. Blames others for their lack of control. Believe they're incapable of making changes. Feel inadequate while seeing others succeed. Struggle with family dynamics and challenges faced in a work setting. The language is, I'm not enough. There's nothing I can do. No guarantees. It's not allowed. Or I'm being treated unfairly. Language can reflect their perceptions of challenges in their personal lives and professional endeavors.
So in this one, where it's my life sucks, this is where people, they just don't feel as if they have any power, right? They just, I'm at the effect of the government, or I'm at the effect of my boss, I'm at the effect of my husband, I'm at the effect of my children. There's a lack of power here. And what I want you to get is, if you're in that place right now, or you've been in that place right now, you can take it to the next level. You can get to level 3, because we can't skip the levels. We need to start working on how do we get better, rather than being in the world of disempowerment. So we all go through this. I went through this when I was younger, and I've learned to become more self-assured, because I started creating standards and raising the bar. And that's why when you went to level 3, it's another level up. Now, I don't mean levels and we're all good people, bad people. It's no this type of conversation. It's just a consciousness of awakening, so we can actually be responsible for this, and then intentionally design how to keep increasing. And we all fluctuate. Sometimes we're victims, sometimes we're powerful. We kind of fluctuate between these, and it's just an awareness conversation that's really amazing. All right, so let's have a look at level 3.
Stage 3, I'm great and you're not. This is a personal superiority. The person has an arrogant ego and is a lone warrior. People believe that they're great, but others are not as committed or capable. They're high achievers, engaged, energetic, committed to results, and do a great job. They view knowledge as power and hoard it. It's all about personal victories, The lone warrior, constantly frustrated by lack of time and support from others when they want help. The language is I, me, and my, with phrases like, few people can match my skills, or if they tried harder, they'll succeed. Leaders control information and decisions through dyadic or two-person relationships, like a hub and spoke network. This relationship structure gives them perceived control, but is time-consuming and draining.
So this is a really, most of the workforce kind of float about here. So, but I'm great, you're not. Comparison, right? Elitism, and sometimes a little bit of a rolling of the eyes and a bit of condensation, like looking down on somebody because they're maybe making a mistake. And is it obvious? Look at that. You should do different. And that really damages an environment. Now, this can be at home in the marriage where the husband's judging the wife's judging the husband, the kids are all judging each other. So they might be better at finances where the other person might be better at cooking, or this person might be better at health and the other person. And then what we do is we become competition with their best friend. So you can be in a marriage and you can be in competition because it's a bit of a, well, I'm great. And then there's a little bit of a flavor sometimes of shaming or judging or feeling judged. And it's really how it becomes really intense, and then people stop respecting each other a little bit because it becomes elitist, and that's why when we get to this next level, it's going to show you how this can all just drop away when we become really, really aware of who we're being in the relationships, who we're being at work, who we're being with our team, our family members, and it's the language shifts from I to the next language, which is the most powerful language. So let's have a look at it. Okay, so before we get to the next one, I'll unpack this, right? So there's a transition between the 1, 2, 3 to level of 4, right? So if you look at this here, right, you got level 1, 2, 3, right? So the language is I, me, my, right? It's all self-absorbed, right? Lone warrior, scarcity, right? Being oneself, like it's all about me. Sharing in order to get a result. Like people have got, well, I'll give you this if I can get that. There's an order to, right? There's an agenda right there. What's in it for me? Like personal agenda. Like it's all about what I get, right? And I'm not saying that everybody's like that, but in 1, 2, 3, it's very I absorbed. The ego is very strong here, right? So, and that which creates competition. So you end up in competition in your marriage. You end up in competition with your work colleagues. You end up in competition with your team members in your business, right? So that actually limits the success. Now, if we look at the other side, where we're going to take you next, I want you to be aware of this, right? The language and the context shifts. So over on the left, the context is I. Now look at the 3 pictures. The green, right? It's separate person, right? Separate and individual, right? Now we're going to go to the right. It's connective, it's team, right? So the language is we, us, and our. It's like we're a team, right? So level 4 is more team, where your family values are increasing, where we're all go each other's back, right? So there's abundance, there's enough for everybody, so we don't need to be scarce and hoard information and stuff. Like, so we're being for another, right? It's all about service to other people. Changes every life you touch. When you're a we, you're always focusing on how can I serve this person? How can I help this person? How can I add value? You're not focusing on yourself. You're focusing on service to other people, right? But so you have a real purpose in life. You're up to a big game of making a difference to everybody, not just what's in it for me. So we're also heading towards a noble cause, right? We've got a purpose that's bigger than ourselves. And the ego identity starts to go down, right? And you become more of a spiritually we connected, where we're all in the same family. And the magic happens when we get to level 4, because it becomes collective, not Aye. All right, so let's have a look at the next part, level 4.
Stage 4, we are great. This is about a stable partnership, interdependent and team players, with tribal pride. In this stage, it's all about teams with shared values and goals. People are happy, inspired, and are themselves in the tribe. After personal success in stage 3, people are ready for real collaboration. Take pride in their family unit or work team. We're great. Leaders' direction is guided by the collective. The emphasis shifts to the group as a whole. The language is we, us, our, together. Decisions are based on shared values. Information flows openly. Partnerships form to achieve goals, embracing interdependent strategies.
Okay, we'll go to level 5.
Stage 5, life is great. This is about teams. We're all great. An innocent wonderment. Tribes go beyond competition with others to competition with what's possible. They aim to make a significant global impact by focusing on a noble cause. Language focuses on unlimited potential and shaping history. Individuals are like heroes, yet they aren't seeking the spotlight. Prioritize universal values over personal or organizational concerns. Tribes can collaborate with other value-driven tribes, not limited to those that share the same values.
We all know an amazing person, right, who created a noble cause. So if you think about it, right, Dr. Wentz created a vision and he focused on a noble cause. He looked at all the degenerative disease, he looked at all the medication, he looked at all the people suffering, and he couldn't help his parents. So then when he sold Gall Laboratories and started with USANA, it started with his dream, which is a massive noble cause. So USANA is a level 5 culture, right? It started with his vision. So I dream of a world free from pain and suffering. I dream of a world free from disease. The USANA family will be the healthiest family on earth. Share my vision, love life, and live it to its fullest in happiness and health. Now, I've been in USANA for a while, right? And I kind of got that different stages as I've went through this amazing journey. But I've got it more today than I've ever done in my life. And when we look what's happened in the world in the last few years, and you look at his cause and his vision, he could see a lot of this stuff coming. And this man is like he's a visionary, right? How many people in the world have been enrolled, inspired by his noble cause? How many people do you know around you that are suffering from different health challenges, right? And what I've really got, how to put it, really profound shift is we can build a business because we want to get freedom. We can build a business because we want to help people, and right, and we get financially help. We have a team member, but when you really, really get if we don't speak to people, they're going to get sick, and they don't change their lifestyle. And they're going to stay on medication, or they're going to stay on bad lifestyle choices, or they're going to stay. We are here to make a difference. And now I'm asking everybody here right now, if you make your focus the noble cause and don't make it about the money, don't make it about the points, don't make it about what's in it for you, serve your neighbor, wake people up and tell them, look, I'm here to make a difference in your health. With the attachment, your results will go through the roof. Now, whether it's in your sauna or whether it's you're working in your corporations and you're in your jobs, and are you going to be a team player and serve each other and have each other's back? Or are we just going to turn up to the office and just tick the box? What's the point? You're going to be there 8 hours a day anyway. Why not give it your heart? Why don't you be mindful? Am I being a two? Am I being a one? I don't think there's many ones here, right? But you get what I'm saying. Am I apathetic at work? Am I apathetic in my marriage? Am I apathetic trying to build my business and make a difference to other people? Am I going to increase my standards? Am I going to take it to the next level? Am I going to become a team player and stop being self-absorbed or my feelings and focus on the greater good? And am I going to change the world? Am I going to make a difference on the planet? Am I going to have a purpose, or am I going to just turn up, try and get some stuff, do the best I can for myself, and everybody's on their own? And I think this is a really global awakening going on right now. And I think people are really waking up that we're all in this together. We are not separate. It can feel that way, but we're definitely not separate. So when we look at this stages, you want to take a screenshot of this. You want to start looking at this and looking at your family and changing the language from level 1, 2, 3 is I, which is a false ceiling, to we and us and our, and start bringing this through the family. It starts at home. It starts with your marriage. It starts with your family members. It starts, are we judging? Are we compassionate? Are we got such a high expectation that we're always criticizing? Are we inspiring and uplifting each other? Every human being is doing the best they can with the consciousness that they have. This is a consciousness conversation. It's not about who's right? It's not about winning. We're in competition with our best friends. We're competition with our brothers and sisters. We are trained at school to be in competition. We need to unlearn this. That's indoctrination versus we're all one big family. And I look at Dr. Went's vision, and I'm so inspired more today than ever before in my life. So Vanessa's going to break this down, and then we're going to wrap up.
Stage 1, all life sucks. The relationship to people is alienated. The behavior is undermining. People are despairingly hostile, banding together to get ahead in a violent and unfair world. This is 2% of organizations. At stage 2, my life sucks. The relationship to people is separate. The behavior is apathetic victim. People are passively antagonistic, seen it all before and watched it fail. Quietly sarcastic and resigned. Judging, yet never interested enough to spark any passion. This is 25% of organizations. At stage 3, I'm great and you're not. The relationship to people is personal domination. The lone warrior behavior. Knowledge is power, so people hoard it. They have to win, and winning is personal. The mood is one of wanting help and support, yet being continually disappointed that others don't have their ambition or skill. This is 49% of organizations. Stage 4, we're great. The relationship to people is a stable partnership. The behavior is tribal pride. People are fully themselves, and everyone seems happy, inspired, and genuine. The culture emphasizes shared core values and interdependent strategies. A we're great tribe always has an adversary, and the bigger the foe, the more powerful the tribe. This is 22% of organizations. Stage 5, life is great. The relationship to people is that of team. The behavior, innocent wonderment. The language revolves around infinite potential and how the group is going to make history, not to beat a competitor, but because doing so will make a global impact. This group is in competition with what's possible, not with another tribe. This is 2% of organizations.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vanessa. I really appreciate your partnership. So if you look at this, right, we're not in competition with other supplement companies. We're not in competition with any of that. The competition is, are we going to the next level, and are we going to make a difference in the planet? Are we going to impact people's lives? Are we going to help people with Dr. Went's vision? A world free from pain and suffering. We actually have an opportunity to fulfill his vision. We have an opportunity to make a global impact. When we take the focus off of ourselves and focus on, all right, how can I take it to the next level and make a difference in my community? How can I make a difference with the people around me and wake them up? Whether it's sharing your personal development knowledge that you've learned in this company, whether it's sharing your nutritional knowledge that you learned, sharing how to get the ego down and become more collective, whatever the case may be, we've all got amazing gifts that we've been given, and we all have the seeds of greatness. We need to start making a difference and having more conversations and sharing this amazing stuff that we've all been given and pay it forward to other people. And I think that's a good purpose and a good noble cause that we can follow. Follow Dr. Went's vision and make a bigger impact. So this book's called Tribal Leadership, right? And if you look at this, right, birds flock, right? Fish school, and people tribe. We are a tribe, and we're in Dr. Went's tribe, right? And we're here to make a difference. Now, this book is an audio book as well, and it's free. This is tribal leadership, giving free to the world to transform families, cultures, and organizations. You can go to this website and you can download this for free. They give it away for free because they want to develop leaders and help everybody wake up, right? And then you transform your house, you transform your job, you transform you're a leader, you make a difference. We want to empower and wake people up, right? So this is a free download. So make sure you go into the website and get your free download and share it with other people. You want to pay this forward, right? And if you want to connect with me, you can. And I'd love to catch up if you want any questions. And just to let you know, we're going to create another cut of this a little bit deeper. So maybe we look at in October, we'll deal tribal leadership next stage. So if you want, you can go into the Facebook and get your teams to watch the video so they can prepare. And then we do the next one that you can get it deeper. But I do suggest that everybody buy the book or get the free download and listen to it when you're driving your car and start becoming a tribal leader and then share it with other people and wake more people up. So we're going to take some sharing if anybody wants to share, but that's us finished the actual presentation.
Well, thank you so much for that amazing presentation, William. We always know that whenever you're presenting, you're going to deliver over and above the value that everyone appreciates. And I myself have gotten a lot from this tribal leadership topic. I can see where I've been at level 2 and can still go back there. And I've been watching people achieve things and get things and thinking, well, how come that doesn't happen to me? And been in a world of comparison. And then I've also seen where I can step into level 3 if I'm achieving something and then think that I'm doing quite well at something. Then I have to be mindful of how the ego responds to that. But having an opportunity to be part of a community and work as a team, and I was never part of team sports, so it wasn't something I was familiar with at school, has been a whole different ball game. Actually being a part of something and seeing contribution and how contribution makes a difference, both my contribution and the contribution from others. So this is a really powerful topic and it's really useful. So I really hope that you all got some value from that. So if there's anything that you would like to share, please feel free. And Casey, you've got your hand up. What would you like to share? You're muted, Casey.
Yeah, well, thank you. This is my favorite topic. Thank you so much, Vanessa and William. I really love this awakening journey. Not only the presentation with you all, it's really appreciated. And yeah, I'd love to know that which Facebook group they're going to share the recording, because I can see such a value. I can gather people together and really, you know, really be with them to walk them through about this. So, William, do you know which Facebook group they're going to share the recording?
It's the... Carry on, William.
I'll continue. That's okay.
Oh, so it's going to be in the USANA and New Zealand Associate page. You'll find it there.
USANA ANZ or just New Zealand?
Debbie has just posted in the chat both the Australian and New Zealand Associate page. So
great.
Yeah, look
great.
for it there.
Thank you. Thank you. Really great. And I can see that, you know, we are a tribe and there's not any competition at all. And yeah, very aware of the 1, 2, 3 and quite a percentage there. It's all about the cliche, and some of them are the parents' unworkable parenting, and they're affecting on the parent of the children and the generation. And then if we choose to wake up, and then we can impacting our own family, ourselves, the whole community. Really powerful. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Would anyone else like to share anything? Okay.
So how many people here have actually used this in their life? Just put your hand up if you've used it, if you're using tribal leadership at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like to share the difference it's made in your life?
I can share.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa.
In the past, it's I believe, you know, it's a lot of awareness just not really there, you know, if not really noticed, it just automatically coming up, you know, I'm okay, I'm right, you know, always in the just small things to big things and in the job. And then now we're doing the USANA business, you know, even you extend that Dr. Wen's vision, it makes such different from the point view of the tribal leadership. You know, differently is the vision which is on the top of the above the 5. It's we occasionally, you know, comparison, and also it's in the, especially the processing, you know, because we've been in that stage so long, it's take a lot of coming back and forth to make, you know, little bit improvement. And then the following day, maybe it's something to trigger out, I just go back to again. It's different, it's a process. When you share this, the whole vision for 1 to 5, and then I can see the percentage, which is eye-opening. You know, when I feel, when I'm talking to other people, haven't really heard that before, it's different, is on the different level when I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
So it's a great tool to I share with people around me, and the benefit for the business as well is have a grounding ground, you know, like have a really peace of mind. Yeah, thank you so much, William and Vanessa, for sharing that. I really enjoyed.
And the thing when you're saying that we don't know we're doing it because we're unconscious, it's just the goldfish doesn't know it's in the water until you take the goldfish out the water, and then it's trying to get air. It doesn't even know it's in the goldfish bowl, or it's in the water. It's just a goldfish in the water. So we're the same. We don't know we're being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unless you start unpacking the conversation. And then when you unpack it, you get to say, oh, I'm actually being a victim here, or I'm being righteous here. And then instead of being, hey, we're all doing our best, we're on the same team, what did you learn? We can judge each other and compare, because that's what we done at school. Somebody get 80% in the test, somebody get 50% in the test, oh, ha, 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 ha. And we're like 3-year-old children judging each other. And then we go through the world all judging each other, because that's all we've seen at school. And then this is like a mature conversation where we take it to the next level and become an adult. Even though we might be 40, 50, 60 years of age, we can still be a 3-year-old child. And that's the big awakening, is this is an adult conversation of awakening where we mature as human beings and actually become service to each other and get that we're all in the same tribe. It doesn't matter what color we are. It doesn't matter what country we come from. It doesn't matter what background we come from or education. We're actually all brothers and sisters. And that's a beautiful context to serve each other rather than what can I get. And it's such a beautiful conversation. And thanks, Lisa. I appreciate you sharing. So we'll take one more. Caroline, you want to share? Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree with what Lisa said. You know, it's an awareness that you can see not only what level you're on, you can see where people are, but it's more than that. It gives you something to aspire to. So you're on a journey to get to that level 5, and I think it's somewhere we're all capable of getting to, particularly in this environment. And we can, the more of us who get there, the more we can share and help others.
100%. And what kind of impact has this made for you and your family?
I think it's just the awareness and an understanding of where people are at. So if you recognize, you know, someone's in a real grump and they hate the world, and you know, I think it gives you the tools to be able to get them to see that and bring them out and bring them up one level at a time. Certainly with family members, you know, we're much more aware with the kids of where they're at, and think of ways that we can bring them up to a higher level. And it's not always easy because they're unaware, so it's our job to make them aware.
Yeah, and that's why if we simplify some of these trainings and like everybody can get this conversation, because it's a simple conversation when you break it down like this. And that's why we're going to be training and teaching people this more and more, because that's just going to make everybody highly effective. So it's great what you're saying is it helps you make allowances for people, and you can distinguish where they're at based on the language that they're speaking, because each level has a language and they use certain words, and it kind of shows you the psychology of the person. And if you can help that person step it up. Now, the next training is going to unpack this, where you can distinguish the language of the person, and then you can actually help them change their language. Because when you change your language, you go up a stage. But if your language is I, me, I, you're going to get stuck in the ego of I'm separate from you, rather than we're actually together. So if you have a bad thought, or you do something bad to somebody, you're actually harming yourself. You're not actually, you might have an impact on that person, but you're keeping your heart cold, and you've not got that love and compassion for people, even sometimes when they don't deserve it. Maybe they've hurt you, and then we want to get vengeful. Well, that's more of the ego. If somebody hurt you and you could still have love in your heart, that gives you a bigger capacity to make a difference rather than taking it personal. But the ego takes everything personal, right? We're like, you're hooked, and then you're ready for a fight. So that's why we're born to fight. We need to learn to stop fighting with each other, because the whole world's against. But there's all these different things all over the world right now, and everybody's like fighting with each other because they don't agree, rather than actually get that we're actually being divided. What if everybody would just stand together and actually be united and just don't get caught up in division? The whole world is divided with this cause, this thing, that thing. Now everybody's fighting with each other. We want everybody to wake up and get that we're all one tribe. Let's no fight. and just respect each other's viewpoint. Don't need to agree with everything, but let's have some respect and love. So, and it all starts at home. It all starts in the family. So thanks, Caroline. That was beautiful. Kesey, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, this is a new hand. Yeah, I really like Caroline just talk about that, you know, when they are in there, they are quite unconscious. And we just gently say, you know, well, you know, there's another way, but they are not aware. That's very, very good awareness, you know. So this very, very powerful, just like amplifying, yeah, from I to we is awareness journey. Thank you.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you. I just check in the chat. Is there anybody, any questions in the chat? I wasn't sure. Is there anybody in there asking any questions?
Just someone requesting your email address. So maybe you could just drop your email address into the chat. So just got that. June was after your email address. We don't have a tribal Facebook group.
Okay, I'll put my address in the chat. Right, consciousnesscoaching.wn@gmail.com. All right, guys, it was really great spending time with you. We look forward to the next one coming up in October. And I hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, tribal leadership is where it's at. Go back and watch the